India became one single country only because of privy purse, not otherwise. Of course, the culture is culturally we are united. We had many languages and everything, but we stood united, and even the states were divided on linguistic lines. Article 370 was a special provision given to Kashmir. What the Article 370, Section 3 says is, notwithstanding anything in the foregoing provisions of the article, the President may, by public notification, declare that this article shall cease to be operative or shall be operative only with such exceptions and modifications and from such date as he may specify. There is the next paragraph says, provided that the recommendation of the Constituent Assembly of the state, that is Kashmir, referred to in clause 2, shall be necessary before the President issues such a notification. This amendment needs approval by the Kashmir Assembly. What happened? This government dissolved the Kashmir Assembly. They were part of the government before. They dissolved the Kashmir Assembly. Then they said that the governor has recommended that Article 370 can be removed. The governor has no legislative power. How can he has an administrative power? How can a governor have a legislative power to pass such an order and send it to Delhi? That has happened. That is what I mean by rape of the constitution. This government does not want this constitution. They want a different constitution which says that this is a Hindu country, a single religion country. But whereas this country has many languages, that also they are against. They want only one Hindu country, Hindi country. One nation, one language, one election, everything one. It cannot be one. Even they call India as a nation of 56 countries. We had in the south Cheras, Sodas, Pandyas, Pallavas. We had in the north Marathas, Magadhas, Guptas and Mauryas. They all came together accepting Patel's, the Congress party's request that we stand together. Thirdly, CAA about citizenship. In every way, this constitution is being raped by BJP. Ultimately, it will have an attack on the citizens of this country, which they have started now. So, we have my friend Tiruchi Siva to speak. Our Honorable General Secretary has to speak. So, I think this introduction by me is enough for this time. Thank you.
As I said, Thiru Alandur Bharati is the guiding factor of the DMK movement.
Respected Mr. Adithanar Ilango, Senior Advocate and Member of Rajya Sabha, DMK General Secretary and Honorable Minister of Tamil Nadu Government, my beloved brother Durai Murugan, Tiruchi Siva, floor leader of the DMK party in Rajya Sabha, and also the propaganda secretary of DMK party, beloved Mr. T.K. Silangovan, Senior Advocate Mr. Vidudalai, dear friends, I would like to first of all congratulate Mr. Adithanar Ilango, who has organized this function. Today is a very lucky day for both him and the DMK party, because the conviction given by the Madras High Court has been stayed by the Supreme Court, which is a very big facelift for the DMK legal wing. I would like to openly say, when the Madras High Court convicted Mr. Ponmudi, our beloved advocates, senior advocates, and all the legal wing people hung their head down, because never in the history of DMK we have lost any legal battle. But this was a blow to us. But today we have partly succeeded, and final victory will definitely come to us, and especially to DMK. And I would like to personally thank Mr. Adithanar Ilango, because I know what much of strain and stress he underwent in these days. Today only I see him smiling, because the result has convinced our beloved leader and all the cadres of the DMK party. So this would be my first congratulations to Mr. Adithanar Ilango. Secondly, I would like to thank and congratulate Mr. Adithanar Ilango, my beloved brother, Mr. Durai Murugan, would not have forgotten the history of DMK prior to 1967. Meetings like this, English speaking meetings, were conducted by the DMK party, not only DMK party, DMK emphasized. Prior to 1967, our great leader Anna, Nanjil K. Manogaran, and leaders, even our senior advocate then, who was in our party, Mr. V.P. Raman, P.R. Gokulakishan, they used to address English meetings in Chennai, organized by the Friends Forum. After nearly 6 decades, today Mr. Adithanar Ilango has conducted this meeting. This was sponsored by Mr. Thanthi Siva, because while discussing with our beloved leader regarding the budget and other things, Thanthi Siva suggested that these sort of meetings should be conducted in a hall wherein intellectuals, economists, people of learned people would participate, because today's platform, political platform, has been totally, it is taken some other shape. Those days we used to say that the DMK meetings used to be a evening class for the students, the people of this country, for the state. But somehow it has been destroyed by the political climate of the state. And today, the people organizing the meeting, we used to sit up to 1 o'clock those days. Mr. Durai Murugan would not have forgotten. When he was a student of Pachabas and I was studying in Madras Christian College, he used to come to Alandur. He used to wait to hear his speech up to 12 o'clock in the night. Those guys are gone. And today, in public meeting after 8:30, we don't see anybody. So, Mr. Thanthi Siva smelled the psychology of the people and said that all meetings should be conducted. And today, at the request of Thanthi Siva, the DMK legal wing has organized this meeting. I request Ilango to organize such meetings throughout the state, because this is very much needed. As rightly pointed out by Mr. Vidudalai, as we all know, the three pillars of democracy is legislature, executive and judicial. What is the position of legislature? What is happening in parliament? Opposition people are not allowed to speak. The shameful thing is, this Lok Sabha, the 17th Lok Sabha, has gone out without a deputy speaker. Never in the history of this country. From the day the constitution was formed, there was a speaker and a deputy speaker. This is the first time that the 17th Lok Sabha has gone out or vanished without a deputy speaker. Did any media or press condemn this act? Because all the medias have become Modi medias. All India medias have become Modi medias. This is a shame to the democracy. In a house of people, there was no representation for a deputy speaker to be elected by the opposition. Now the convention is the deputy speaker post will be offered only to the opposition. This mean mentality of the BJP did not conduct the election because it should go to the opposition. Parliament members are not allowed to raise questions in both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. I remember Mr. Manogaran or Ranjilki Manogaran addressing 1962-63 meetings. He cited one incident in the Parliament which I still remember. In the Parliament, when Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister, we all know, many of you may be not knowing it, in 1962, there was Chinese aggression. The entire country was facing crisis. The Prime Minister of this country, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, spoke in the Parliament requesting the people of the country to be economical, to forego all luxuries, all such things. Then in the opposition, Ram Manohar Lohia, who was a socialist member, it seems, as soon as the Prime Minister completed his speech, he rose up and said, questioning the Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, you are asking the people of this country to be economical and to forego any luxury if at all they have. But your daughter Indira Gandhi is spending nearly 14,000 on makeup and other expenditure. Will this be corrected? Had Modi to be then, he would have slapped Ram Manohar Lohia. All the BJP people would have jumped like monkeys in the Lok Sabha. But what Mr. Pandit Nehru said, he politely stood up and said, I will advise my daughter. That was the true democracy which was prevailing in this country. Where has it gone today? They butchered it. You cannot raise your voice outside the parliament or inside the parliament. Mr. Trichy Seva, who has been a 4-time member of the Rajya Sabha, when I was in Rajya Sabha, our chairman, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, he used to allow Mr. Siva and others to raise questions, prudent questions. But today, what is happening in the Rajya Sabha? They are not allowing the opposition to raise any question or any important issues of the country that is very important to be discussed. No discussion is taking place. Prime Minister very occasionally comes to the Parliament. So this democracy should definitely be changed because the BJP has ruined everything regarding the executive. Our Vidalai pointed out, here is one governor, the so-called governor in the name of Ravi. He is doing all other work than his work. He is criticizing Tamil scholars. Like a politician, he is acting like not only a politician, as an RSS cadre. He is conducting RSS meeting in the Rajbhavan. So the executive also has been ruined. Judiciary, as pointed out by Madurai, you all know what is happening in the judiciary today. So to safeguard the 3 pillars in democracy, this is the right time that this country should very seriously think about retaining the constitution which is prevailing, the fundamental rights which have been guaranteed in the constitution. Today, CAA has been introduced and is coming to force from today. Mr. Ilangovan said that BJP government has introduced this. I differ with Mr. T.K. Ilangovan because the entire responsibility for passing this bill was on the AIADMK of Tamil Nadu. In 2019, when myself, T.K. Ilangovan, and Tiruchi Siva, Wilson, and Shannu were 5 of us was representing the DMK in the Rajya Sabha. The bill came for voting. We secured 99 votes. The Treasury bench secured 124. Among the 124, 13 members of the Rajya Sabha wholeheartedly supported the bill and helped the BJP to pass the bill. So, it is not the BJP alone. The ADMK should be solely responsible for passing this bill. This message should go to the people. We should bring this message, and the people should know, especially in Tamil Nadu, that the ADMK, today Mr. Edappadi is pretending, as though he is opposing BJP. Who is responsible for all these chaoses? It is the ADMK which was hand in glove with the BJP. So I do not want to take much of your time because two eminent speakers have to speak. This election in 2024 is going to be an historical election. The political climate is changing. Uttar Pradesh, which happened to be a belt for the BJP party, today, the last elections, out of 80 seats or so, BJP got more than 65 to 70. But today, India Alliance has taken a good shape and history is going to repeat itself. 70 seats are going to be won by the India Alliance. Likewise, all the Indian belts also, there is a political change. Bihar, in the last election, the entire BJP alliance won, except 3 or 4 RJD people. But today, out of the 42, all the 42s, the India alliance is going to win. South, Modi cannot dream of entering here. Mr. Modi is coming to Tamil Nadu frequently. Every week, almost every week, he is coming to Tamil Nadu. He is that much scared of us. And that's what, especially our leader, M.K. Stalin, even in his sleep, he doesn't forget M.K. Stalin because he is the pioneer and the person who has formed this India Alliance. That is why he is making personal attack on the family of M.K. Stalin. The advocate wing, which has been sorely with the DMK in bringing to power, I would request the legal wing to be very active in this election because so many doubts are there. The reason for the election commissioner to resign is $1 billion question. What is the reason for him to resign when the notification for elections are going to come in a week or so? So in the mind of the public, there is so many suspicions. All these suspicions has to be cleared by the central government. Luckily, the Supreme Court has taken today, it's an historical day for the advocates, especially 3 major judgments has been given to in the Supreme Court, which is going to save this country. And day after tomorrow or day after or 15th, so many things are going to come to light about the BJP. Who are the people who donated BJP? Who are the people who donated to the tune of 6,000 crores to BJP? All this is going to come to the light, and we as advocates, because this can be spoken or when we go and tell to the people, this will go into get into the minds of the people. Therefore, I would request Mr. N.R. Lango to spare his valuable time because he's a busy lawyer, I know. Our advocates should sacrifice 2 months up to April. Tomorrow, 16th or 17th, election notification will come. As far as my knowledge goes, they say the first phase of election is going to be conducted only in Tamil Nadu because all the BJP leaders want to come here and camp. So that much they are scared of the people of Tamil Nadu because we are the people who are raising our voice against this BJP government, and they want to play out, they will play all sort of dirty games. To safeguard the cadre and the party, our advocate friends should cooperate and work with under the leadership of Mr. N.R. Ilengo and see that the 2024 elections, 40 out of 40, Tamil Nadu is there. With this, I would like to conclude. Thank you.
They say DMK is a family party. Yes, it's a family party. Because my father shared dais with Thiru Alandur Bharati and Honorable Minister Durai Murugan. Now I am there with them in the dais. So it is a family party. When I contested in 2014 elections at Arakonam constituency, Honorable Minister Durai Murugan, our General Secretary in the stage, claimed that don't worry Ilango, your father is not there. I am your father. You are my adopted son. That same love and affection is having on all the cadres of the DMK party, and we are all, in fact, very blessed to have him as a General Secretary of our party. Now I request Durai Murugan to give his address.
So, முதலில் எல்லோருக்கும் வணக்கம். ஏன்னா இங்கிலீஷ் மீட்டிங்காக இருந்தாலும் தமிழ் தாய்வாழ் தமிழ் தானே பண்ணீங்க. The president of this symposium and my excellent friend, eminent lawyer, Mr. N.R. Ilengo, Member of Parliament, who is going to give a keynote address in Rajya Sabha. Now we are shining as a Madurai Mai, Joji Basu, and other eminent Parliament members like Tirichi Shiva, who addressed here Mr. our organizing secretary, advocate Alandur Bharati, and also Mr. T.K. Silangavan, who also addressed here few points regarding the secularism and federalism drain. First of all, I am very thankful those who are arranging this symposium in a correct time in the current subject. So, all our eminent lawyers, always speaking English, they are doing their duty. We are only studied all this law college, and then we came to Secretariat, and we are speaking most of them in Tamil. Even though today we had an opportunity to come over here to see my old colleagues and other friends I'm very happy. Once upon a time, I also had a white dress and went along with senior G.R. Ramsamy. But it was olden days, golden days also. Okay, no problem. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for coming here to discuss the matter of utmost important secularism and federalism drive. This topic describes the current nature of our country. One of our founding slogan of the country, which is unity of diversity, are being turned abroad by the BJP government, lust to divide. When the Constitution was framed, the framers of the Constitution said that Indian Constitution is unique, that it has been managed to sustain democratic governance in the face of striking ethnic, linguistic and religious and diversity. It has united our diverse communities under one roof, and that is India. One of the founding slogans, unity in diversity, was being turned apart by the BJP government, lust to divide. In the fact, yesterday, BJP MP Anand Kumar Hegde from Karnataka, speaking at the public rally, said that the secular word can be removed from the Constitution in favor of Hindus. What sort of the commitment is this? Is this how they want this country to be? They have no desire to unity, but only lust of divine. India's constitution is under imminent threat. If BJP comes to power once again, they will do anything to destroy the secularism and federalism structure of this country. A country will turn strong only after state becomes stronger, but their all effects are being made to put back and undermine states. One religion, one language, one voice, and one election. The list goes on. Even during the times of British, power was not centered on any single entry like this. All efforts are being made to weaken states, undermine their role. If you agree with them, then it is fine. If you disagree, they use every possible way to weaken you. The non-BJP rule states are treated as second class. Central agencies like CBI, ED and governor are being used as tools to undermine the elected government. A recent example is one nation, one election. Call for simultaneous election to different levels of government, which has been the belated attempt to undermine the country's federal structure. The local body election formally falls under the domain of state list, where this union government drop power to call the simultaneous election to local bodies. They should have absolutely no say in local body election, but yet they have formed a high-level committee to discuss the simultaneous election across the country along with local body election. This is the reason DMK has taken a very possible step against the agenda of BJP and our Chief Minister, Mr. M.K. Stalin, effect as passed a resolution in the State Legislative Assembly against the notion of conducting simultaneous election. Further, there is a huge disparity in terms of the allocating funds on non-BJP states. Whenever this question is being raised in Parliament, they will say funds are allotted to basis on the Finance Commission. If in really the Finance Commission are constituted and their terms of reference are decided by the Union government without any consultation with the state government. Second recommendation in favor of BJP, that is center retain for all the disproportionate share of the resources, and it has over time made even the devolved state share and subject to the requisite condition. To make the matter worse, large chunk of the resource collected through cess and surcharge were kept out of the Finance Commission habit, giving unrestricted power for Union government of discriminate. The Planning Commission and the National Development Council were abolished. GST also has severely impacted state governments' ability to raise their own reserves other than through the sales tax and alcohol, sales tax on alcohol and excise duty on fuel, which are exempted from the GST. States are now depend on the center for nearly half of all of their resources and have no control over more than 2/3 of their revenue. On top of that, the central government and the Reserve Bank of India have adopted direct measures to limit debt and finance spending. The attempts to raise extra budgetary resources through borrowing by state-sponsored corporate entities have been blocked. Even during the COVID-19 pandemic, when the states was struggling to meet expenditure relating to health, extra borrowing was allowed, subject to the implementation of reforms such as excise tariffs on power established by state government-run distribution companies, and they are usually unpopular and irrelevant. The Union government has literally forced state increasing tariff for electricity in order to get extra borrowing. State governments finding themselves compelled to reduce various expenditures in order to generate funds for welfare initiatives. Paradoxically, the central government persistent in allocating funds for comparable programs aimed at securing water support, and the same pattern is observed in the state government under the control of BJP, the benefit from special assistance provided by the center. In such a discrimination was not enough. More recently, matters have been taken a turn for the worse. In the government and religious are now intervened by the BJP regime. Now they are trying force citizenship amendment to act to across the country. They do not want to consider the view of people or state government. Law are being created to target for particular religion, and the majority of mainstream media are used as a tools for broadcasting propaganda for the ruling party. They are hell bent of doing things such as destroy the fabric of the nations. It is high time, as with the DMK party, has a responsibility to fight for the future of the country and ensure social justice, secularism, and equality. Thank you.
Friends, I have to recall one of the incident in Parliament. Our friend Mr. M.M. Abdullah, when he was speaking on an amendment to the J&K bill, it was a very, not so important bill. So we all thought that his turn will come at 3 o'clock. So myself, Trichy Siva and all others went home for having lunch. Our friend M.M. Abdullah was speaking, you all must have watched that he referred to some speeches of Thanthi Periyar. Everybody was opposing. Everybody. Tiruchi Siva Anna was at his home and he was having lunch. On seeing this in the TV, he just rushed back to the parliament. He stormed into the Rajya Sabha hall and said, "What is wrong in saying about Periyar?" He fought with the chairman like anything. He fought with the treasury benches like anything. And that's why the chair withdrew its ruling on what Mr. Abdullah said. That is how Tiruchi Siva Anna is protecting the young members who are sent by the party. That's how he guides us. That's what Thiru T.K.S. Ilangovan and Thiru Alandur Bharati did when they were the members of the parliament. They trained the young members who are being sent by the party. And that is the culture of DMK. And Tiruchi Siva Anna is now taking that into the forefront. As far as I am concerned, I could see Tiruchi Siva is one member who is being respected by all the leaders cutting across the party. I am very happy to have him to give his keynote address. Now I request Tiruchi Siva to give his address. Thank you.
Respected Mr. N.R. Ilango, Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, the Legal Wing Secretary of DMK Party, who is presiding over this symposium, and my most respected, beloved brother, our forerunners of the students' community, the General Secretary of the DMK Party and Honorable Minister for Water Resources, Annan Durai, my esteemed friends, Mr. R.S. Bharati, the Organizing Secretary, Mr. T.K.S. Ilangovan, the Secretary of the Press Relation Wing, Mr. Vidudalai, who is the President of the Legal Wing, Professor Jayaranjan, legal luminaries, and my dear legal fraternity friends. Very good evening to all of you. It's the right occasion that this symposium has been organized by the legal wing of DMK Party. As Mr. R.S. Bharati in detail explained here, when the General Secretary and Party President, our Talabudi and M.K. Stalin, were all in Anna Arivalayam discussing about the ensuing elections, there were some discourses about the public meetings that we are holding to explain to the people the conditions that are prevailing. Then I proposed to our leader and General Secretary that we need to have hall meetings, both in Tamil and in English. And I remember in early 80s, we had such symposiums across Tamil Nadu. And in those days also, Anand Durai, Anand Subbu, PTR Pallivarajan and many others have participated. And as students wing convener, I have organized, and later as youth wing convener also. So the days I have to come back, that the image of DMK has to be taken to the people that we have a dimension of this size also. So we first thought, who should be the audience? We cannot just call everyone. Those who can inhale the thoughts that are being put forth here by the speakers and who can make use of it and who can reproduce it. So we thought the first set of audience to make this symposium very glorified is only the Lawyers Forum. And I told N.R. Ilango about this. Immediately, I have found one thing in him. whatever job is entrusted to him, he accomplishes so fully well than anyone else. Today also he have won a case, and in the parliament, I had the privilege of having Bharati and Elangovan as my colleagues earlier. And now Mr. N.R. Elangovan is there, and all other, of course. Everyone are performing so well that DMK has an image in the parliament that we speak to the content and of course within limits. And whatever is entrusted to him, he does it in the parliament, and so also organizing meetings. So as propaganda secretary, I have the responsibility to take it forward to all across the state, as Mr. Bharati told here. But I have decided that this responsibility will be entrusted only to the legal wing, and that too to N.R. Elangovan. Because any other persons who have been asked to organize such a one, the hall would not have been this full, that too of elite audience. And I personally thank Professor Jayaranjan, who has come all by himself, because he always welcomes or always listens to very good thoughts and very important ones. Everyone has made their point. Today, see, every day we learn something. Today also we have learned one thing, that a platform or a meeting should not have too many number of speakers who are all eminent to speak. T.K. Elangovan could speak, R.S. Bharati could speak much more, and my elder brother Anand Doramurugan, you saw him, how he has come well prepared with enough materials about the topic. So after speaking to our leader, myself and Elango discussed what could be the topic of the symposium. Then I said very clearly, the condition of the state now is very bad, that secularism and federalism is derailed. Then he suggested, then we can start with the democracy is in crossroads. I said India should also be there. So instead of having the topic itself very lengthy, so we curtail it to secularism and federalism derailed. On top of it, we said the Indian democracy is on crossroads. So that itself conveys, whoever is interested would very clearly know that these two, the title and the topic, will tell the people what we are going to talk about. And today two important things have come to our knowledge through media. One is Honorable Minister Ponmudi's case has been conviction has been stayed in the Supreme Court thanks to our legal community's efforts. Number two is the CAA rules have been notified today, and the media was questioning us about the same. All this could be spoken in detail, but I want to confine myself because everyone has spoken something about it. The salient features of our constitution and our nation are two things. One is federalism and another is secularism. The secular word was inserted into the constitution preamble only in 1976. You all know that. I think I am not talking to an audience who should be taught each and everything, but you know very well. So the word secular was inserted into the constitution only during the emergency period. But federalism, we preferred to be a federalistic country considering the situation, conditions of this nation. Out of the 193 countries in the world, only 25 countries follow the federal system of government. And these 25 countries constitute 40% of the total population of the world. And to be proud, India has got its own share of 18% of the world's population. China is a country today having the largest population, and be happy within 2 years, India will surpass China only in that population. We will be number one in the world. And in the hunger index also, we are the last in the world. Our hunger index in the world is 139. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his government is boasting much about the organization of successful completion of G20 conference. How lavishly thousands of crores rupees were spent towards it. When Indonesia organized it, They did it within few hundreds of rupees they organized the G20, whereas Narendra Modi's government spent nearly 5,000 to 6,000 crores for this G20. And among the G20 countries, India is the last in everything. Hunger index, we are the last. And 20 crore people go to bed without food at night. Whenever we speak in the parliament, we give these statistics and say that I am really unhappy to speak about my country's bad situation like this in a forum like parliament which will go across the world. But this is the real state, and the whole reason for this is your government. So we are bound to tell the fact which is very bitter. And most importantly is about federalism and secularism. Why federalism? India is a composite cultured nation, diverse in everything. India is not a nation with one section of people who speak one language, who belong to one culture. Everything is different. That's why we have the motto of unity in diversity. Culture is different, language is different, region is different, food is different, everything is different, but you cannot make it as one. Let me say, either Germany or UK or USA, India are all bicameral parliament system. We have Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. The USA is having Congress and Senate. And so also in the UK it is House of Commons and House of Lords. And in Germany it is Bundesrat and Bundesrat. So bicameral, even in Indian Parliament, both the houses work with a different set of rules. It's our duty to tell you people, which you may not know, why two different set of rules. Because we function on our own way, one house cannot prevail on the other in any manner. But after BJP has taken over the power, they want to merge everything. Like they say one nation, one religion, one language, one culture, one food, like that. They want to make also the parliament function. I am very suspectful. Many are telling after these elections, if BJP happens to win, the parliamentary system of government may go away and presidential form of government may come in. That is an apprehension everyone is having, and that is not a far-fetched one. There are possibilities for that, the way this government is acting. So also, there was one Lok Sabha TV and Rajya Sabha TV. Now they have merged it into one as Sunset TV. And who is monitoring, who is administering it means it's only the Lok Sabha speaker, and the chairman of Rajya Sabha has given away his powers. He may have some say, but it has become unified. So also, recent days, the rules are also becoming similar. Whatever Lok Sabha rules, we have to be in the Rajya Sabha rules, we are being told. Let me tell one thing. The minorities in this country feel insecure. It's not a mere vague accusation. We have concrete many things like that. As he said about CAA, Triple Talaq, UAPA, and many other things. The parliament, after the lunch hour, every day we meet at 2 o'clock. But only on Fridays, the Rajya Sabha meets at 2:30, whereas the Lok Sabha has been used to 2 o'clock. As an example, I would say, in Rajya Sabha, we can speak in all the 22 languages of the 8th schedule of the Constitution. That would be translated into English. But in Lok Sabha, only 18 languages can be spoken, 4 are not in the list. Such is the difference. Like that, on Fridays, we meet at 2:30 after the lunch. Why? It is since 1952, when the parliament came into existence, that the Muslims who have to go to the mosque on Fridays, which is one of their commitments, the parliament decided to sit at 2:30. Maybe it is a convention that is going on. All of a sudden, the chairman one day in a bulletin just announced and also pronounced in the house, hereafter Rajya Sabha will also sit at 2 o'clock. We all should have known, not we all, only the DMK. Led by me, all our colleagues stood up and said, why sir, all of unnecessary? Are you not offending the sentiments of the Muslims? He said very clearly, kindly note, he said, we cannot be favorable to one community in this country. Whatever is being followed in Lok Sabha will be in Rajya Sabha also. And as you say, if they want to go to mass, let them go and come late. For them, we cannot follow this time schedule. So this is their attitude. Federalism is crumbling. Secularism is fading. See later about the fiscal relationship between the state and the union. It is not equitable and proportionate and transparent. Professor Jayaranjan may address a gathering in the future days about that because he is an expert in that. We can also, but he is an expert in that. So federalism in what manner? And Doramurgan explained very clearly how we are being deprived of our taxes. Because of the GST regime, all our revenue losses are not compensated. Kindly note, 20,000 crore rupees Tamil Nadu has lost only because of GST. We are not compensated. As we have now told and repeatedly, everyone is aware of that. If we pay 1 rupee to the union government, we get back 29 paise. Whereas UP, if it gives 1 rupee, it gets back 2.75. Why this discrimination? Why this sort of stepmotherly attitude? This is what we are asking. Let it be uniform. One state cannot be deprived of its necessary and its genuine due. So as far as federalism is concerned, the governor stands on the way. Both the governments, the state governments and the union government, can work on their own sphere. We have always differentiated between self-rule and share rule. The DMK, whatever it is saying, it cannot be misinterpreted. We are neither dependent, we are neither independent, but we are interdependent. That we have always given the explanation. That's what Anna told. That's why he evolved the policy of state autonomy that has become our demand. Our leader, Dr. Kalaignar, made it the life motto and slogan of the DMK party. So, state autonomy is the only solution for restoring the powers of the state, which are being usurped now by the union government. Though the constitution ensures us so much of rights, the trespassing, the transgressing, the usurping, everything is done by the union government by each and every way of their enactment. Kindly, please, don't forget, they are not doing it themselves. Everything legally they are doing with the brute majority they have in the Lok Sabha, and the majority they manage, floor manage in the Rajya Sabha. Even otherwise, we obstruct to the maximum. Many are not aware what is going on there. Many laws have come into existence. They are implemented, and the repercussions and the implications are not felt by many, and their design and device we have to be very cautious about, because DMK is the only castle of this nation for democracy as well as this federalism. That's why we have called this gathering to explain to you what all are going. Let me very precisely say, what are the recent laws that are anti-federal and anti-secular? You will be surprised. All legal fraternity, you know that the IPC, CRPC and Evidence Act names have been changed, and there are some drastic changes also in the provisions. And since all the lawyers, almost all those who are present are only lawyers, except one or two, how many of you can just pronounce the name of, the change in the name of IPC? Can you just put up your hands? Exemption. So, a gathering, a forum which is full of lawyers, senior lawyers, are not able to tell a name of a law which has been changed and have become an act. Not you. You need not feel shy about it. Even our own judge in the High Court has said, you change whatever it be. I will say only IPC. And when this was in the anvil of the government, when they were trying to bring in these laws, it was very derogatory. Everyone was cautious enough. And these names which they have changed are not Hindi names. Many think it is Hindi name, it is Sanskrit. As per the constitution, any bill or any law only should be in English. You can advocate for Hindi because it is an official language. Where comes Sanskrit? So you people, who are all experts in law and legal luminaries who shine very well, you file a case against it. How can an act be in a Sanskrit language which is called ultra-virus a constitution? And when this came up, we all fought for it and proposed that it should be sent to a standing committee. It went to the standing committee of Home Affairs. Thanks that earlier itself, when I was nominating our party members to various standing committees, I used to ask their views. In what committee you would like to serve, whether it is TKS or RS Bharati. So also when I asked NR Elango, he said, Anna, it is your decision. I don't have any particular choice. So I put him in Home Affairs. Home Affairs is a very important standing committee in the parliament. Only the leaders will always be there. I put him in that. Good that these bills were referred to the Home Affairs Committee when Elango was a member there. I happened to be a Public Accounts Committee member in the years when the 2G was very much discussed or debated. And it was taken up by the PAC when Murali Manohar Joshi was the chairman of it. I was a lone member to defend DMK there. So also in the Home Affairs Committee, many are not aware how much I have fought in the PAC and JPC during the 2G cases were being debated, and how much Murali Manohar Joshi tried to bring in our people to the bars. Very much. That's a different story. Like that, when this was deliberated and discussed in the standing committee, what is the difference between a bill that is being discussed in the parliament and scrutinized in the standing committee? In the parliament means a certain time will be allotted around 2, 3, 4 hours. If the bill is very important, it will be 5, 6 hours. So every party will get a limited time and you have to speak within that. Whereas in the committee meetings, every member is equal, no bigger party or smaller party. They can take any much of amount of time, and so also the stakeholders can also be present there. And Elango was there. I should tell that here in front of you only. He participated in all the meetings, and later the Congress leader Mr. Jairam Ramesh, Mr. Derek O'Brien from TMC, and many others, whenever they met me, told, your member is performing very well in the committee meetings. And one day, you can be all proud of. DMK is not just a political party, it's a great movement and everybody is a gem. Bharati is by himself distinct in many qualities. So also Elangovan. So also every one of us here. Mr. Amit Shah, the Home Minister, one day when he landed in Ahmedabad for some other thing, they have reintroduced the bills. The media asked him, why you have withdrawn those bills and reintroduced? And what Mr. Amit Shah, the Home Minister, said was, the standing committee is discussing it, and one member in that, Mr. N.R. Elango, has given 22 amendments, out of which 16 amendments have been adopted by the government. So 16 amendments cannot be moved while passing the bill. So we have included that in the bill and we are reintroducing it. So that is the credit that was given to N.R. Elango, that is to DMK. And when the bill was passed as usual, the house didn't function, that is all different. But now many setbacks and drawbacks in this bill are rectified only because of N.R. Elango, your secretary. Who else will tell that than me, who is there spearheading them in all the activities? So those 3 laws which they have enacted now, I can read out. I also do not know. When you yourself do not know, I am only a law graduate. I am not a lawyer. I am not practicing. So I can read out, but he can tell that and he can tell that. Bharati Therima. The Bharatiya Sakshya Bill, the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, the Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, Evidence Act, the Chief Election Commissioners and other election commissioners' appointment, conditions of services and term of office bill. Many of you would have been aware of this bill. It has become an act. the appointment of the chief election commissioners and the other commissioners. The election commission office is an autonomous body. It's a constitutional body. If removal of a CEC or a commissioner can be done only by an impeachment in the parliament, or else they have to submit a resignation to the president. That has happened today. Mr. Goyal has done that and it has been accepted immediately, without any hesitation, without any reason. That's all different. So earlier convention was the CEC or the commissioners of election commission, how will be selected? There will be a search committee and a committee consisting of the Prime Minister, the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha. If there is no leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha is there, the largest party, opposition party's leader will be there, and third will be the Chief Justice of India. And now what this bill has done, they are having the Prime Minister, the leader of opposition, and the Chief Justice of India has been removed, and another minister appointed by the Prime Minister will be in the committee. So it's very clear. Majority 2 members will be from the government, and whoever they propose will be the Chief Election Commissioner or commissioners. Whoever the name, whatever the name suggested by the search committee will be thrown away. They can just keep it away and they can do their choice. Now, only one position is there, 2 are vacant. One has retired, it has not been filled, and another has resigned. The elections are ensuing. The act has come into existence. Now the Prime Minister and the Minister of his choice would select the CEC and the Election Commissioner. I don't want to speculate and say something. I leave it to your own wisdom. What would be the consequence? I don't want to tell everything from my mouth. I say the situation. The CEC appointment system has totally been changed. And now the Prime Minister and the Minister of his choice will select the CEC and the other commissioners. The leader of opposition will just be a puppet there. And what would be the result? Again I say, I leave it to your wisdom, the elite legal fraternity committee. Such a bill has been passed, and it is there only, DMK only gave amendments, we only resisted, and other opposition parties also. But we lost, because there are some parties which are on the opposition side, will support them at the time of voting, and that happened. They will arm twist, they will quiesce, they will just look at them. Immediately they will vote for the treasury benches. Some senior minister from that side, when voting starts, will look at some political party, they won't even go and talk. Earlier days, the Parliamentary Affairs Minister used to come and convince us, don't create problem, just help to pass for the passage of the bill. Nowadays, no. They just sit and look. Immediately they vote for them. What for? Again, it is to your imagination, not your wisdom. It is to your imagination. So the CEC bill. The post office bill. What is the post office bill? It has become an act. Supposing if some corruption, a post that has come is corrupted, if some malpractice has been done in the post office while the post is being transferred from one place to other place, earlier the concerned officers were to be punished, but now that has been removed. So anything deliberately done will also be not punished. Whereas the triple talaq bill says, if you pronounce triple talaq, it is invalid, but that person would be imprisoned. When it becomes illegal or invalid, why should he be imprisoned? That's a question. It should be of a preventive measure, but not of a punitive nature. It's only to victimize the Muslim men you have brought this triple talaq bill, we argued. Again, all civil lawyers are here. What is triple talaq? The minister said on the floor of the house, a person, a Muslim man can pick up a phone and immediately thrice he can say, talaq, talaq, talaq is a divorce. How could it be? Muslims must be here. Some Muslim friends must be here, or you all know very well. It is not that easy. One should pronounce talaq in front of the Jamaat. After 1 month or 2 months, again the wife and the husband will be called and they will be asked whether you have come into a normal relationship. If not, if it's not on the way of family way, then he can pronounce the second. Again the third, whereas the minister said, if you pronounce triple talaq immediately, it would be amount to divorce. So they brought it. We argued, it is not to defend the Muslim women, it is only to penalize and punish the Muslim men. They said, no, no, no. You say that we are against the Muslim community. We are for the Muslim women. Then I said, I brought a private member resolution for the widows in this country. There are 4.5 crore widows in our nation. Like in Tamil Nadu, we need a welfare law in favor of the widows. In Brindavan alone, Uttar Pradesh, 1.5 lakh widows are there. How? In West Bengal or in UP, if a woman becomes a widow, 20 or 70, she will be brought there and left there. You could not be in the house. So they stray in the streets. They work as coolies. They pull rickshaws. They are being exploited. They don't have anything. They even beg. And some places, you know what happens to women. One NGO gives them 10 rupees per day, whereas just a tea costs 15 rupees. When this resolution came, everyone supported, but when it was put to vote, the BJP defeated it. I said, when you defeated a resolution, when it was in favor of Hindu women, now you say that you are for Muslim women, who will believe you? You are playing a double game. And many of the BJP members came out and told, we really feel sorry. It was a mismanagement of the floor leader. Then, the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, an MOS who was there, he asked us to vote, and we said it is an opposition resolution, so we should. My transgender bill was also from the opposition, but Arun Jaitley said, in sensitive issues, the House should not be divided. So we support it, and it was unanimously passed. He was a prudent leader, a sane leader. But this was defeated. A resolution for the welfare of the Hindu women was defeated, whereas Muslim women they are defending. That is the triple talaq bill. I'll go fast. The digital personal data protection bill, the forest amendment bill, the coastal aquaculture authority, the multi-state cooperative. Again, he was a member in that. It was a select committee. It was select committee. Select committee is both the houses. Sorry, after a bill is being debated in the standing committee, it will go to select committee. Again, he was a member in that, which totally takes away the powers of the state. Multi-state cooperative society, the energy conservation bill, the Tamil Nadu government opposed it like anything. Bharati gave statement on behalf of the Chief Minister. He also gave statements. The criminal procedure identification bill, the election laws, the wildlife, the biological diversity, the CVC, Central Vigilance Commission Amendment, Foreign Contribution Amendment, FRCA, the Code on Social Security, the Industrial Relations Code, the Farmers Bill, which Elangoman mentioned here. All hasty legislations, all were bulldozed, all were thrust upon. So what is going on? The Parliament has just become a structure where the Home Minister or the Prime Minister refused to come and explain to the political parties there as a solemn responsibility. You all know very well, as per our constitution, the government is accountable to the Parliament. The Parliament is answerable to the people. Whereas the Prime Minister or the Home Minister will come to the Parliament, they don't turn into the House. In the whole of one session, they will come just for 2 minutes. If any bill is for Home Affairs, only then the Home Minister will be there. You know about Manipur? Manipur is still not settled. Burning. Women nakedly were paraded. Hundreds died. Thousands of houses were touched. And we requested, we solicited the Home Minister to come and make a statement. What is going on there? What are the steps taken? Not even one day he came. When we agitated and we were thrown out, people outside said, what, you are always going to the Parliament and create confusion and coming out. Don't you have responsibility? You are wasting exchequer's money. That was an accusation upon us. But what for we did? If a person is hungry and cries, I am hungry, hey, why are you shouting? There's a normal saying. One person stole something from one person's pocket and was running. And he shouted, thief, thief, thief. And the police came, you spoiled the public, you are a nuisance person, you are spoiling the public amity. So you filed a case against him. Because he raised voice, how a case was filed against him, We were agitating against something that has gone wrong, which the Prime Minister, the Home Minister refused in the House. We were labelled that we are mischievous, we are unruly, we are undemocratic, we are not allowing the Parliament to function. The Prime Minister will come and give a statement. The chairman himself from the chair will give some statement. Everything will be recorded. Our lung power will be totally lost. This is the condition in the Parliament today. Even when the Parliament is in sessions, the ministers or the government are not responsible. They don't turn up. Secularism is suffering. Only one thing I would say and conclude about the CAA very specially. Today, the frame rules have been notified. The press were asking me outside where I stayed and here also, sir, what is your view? What is our view? We have already expressed it. What is CAA? Some who were present in Anbaham earlier when he convened a gathering, I explained a little. And those who are not there, many of you might have known, but I would like to say very clearly what exactly it is. CAA is Citizenship Amendment Act. I don't want to enumerate what is citizenship. You all know well. This amendment is actually, they chose very cleverly, cherry-picked three countries, neighboring countries. Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. Right. And from these three countries, who are all religiously persecuted and coming to India, they will be given citizenship. Good. India is so passionate towards something, compassionate. To people who are suffering from another country and coming here, they are giving them citizenship. It should be appreciated. But to whom? Always there will be some criteria. Who are all eligible for this scheme? Who are all eligible? Like that. Who are all can be given citizenship? Like three countries, they said 5 religions. Hindus, Christians, Sikhs, Parsis and Buddhists. And there ends the story. What is missing here? Only people like us can sense it. The Muslims are missing. Why you should give up one major community who are in the country or who live majority in Pakistan or in Afghanistan or Bangladesh? When we spoke about that, when we agitated, they listen to it or they don't respond, it is only on record. So what could we do is, the way out for a member of parliament is to give amendments. Bharati rightly said that. They too were my colleagues then. We were only 5 at that time. Now we are 10. I gave 3 amendments. You all lawyers know very well, one word will make a lot of difference. How Sanskrit is not necessary for medical course, like how Anna changed the name of our state, how he brought in bilingual. That's all great days which to be recollected. Like that, I gave 3 amendments. One, along with the 3 countries, Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh, include Sri Lanka. Next, second amendment, religiously persecuted, include ethnically persecuted. Religiously and ethnically persecuted. Number 3, along with the 5 religions, Hindus, Christians, Parsis, Sikhs and Buddhists, include Muslims. Just 3 words. One is Sri Lanka, another is ethnical, another is Muslims. But these 3 amendments make a lot of difference. So at last when the bill was about to be passed, it was put to vote. The voice vote defeated my amendment, but we didn't settle. Remember Bharati? What a sensational day that was. The house was full. Home Minister was there, everyone was there, because it's a very important bill to them. So when we resisted, they said, what do you want? We want division. We want how many people are members are supporting us. That is the best evidence now available, what he told here. We, a political party, the DMK, having 5-member party, we secured 99 votes. Where from? All the opposition parties in the country. For 2 reasons they supported. One, the amendments, and second, it is the DMK that has brought that. And the government won with how many votes? 124. The difference is 25. And out of that 124, 13 are from our beloved brothers ADMK. Who profess now? Mr. Edappadi Palanichami, the General Secretary of ADMK, says that we are for Muslims. Come on. Come on to our stage. We have concrete evidence. We are not just speaking without any evidence, without any proof. Minus that 13 from 124, the government gets only 111. Had they supported us for Sri Lankan Tamils and Muslims, ours would have been 112. It has been accepted. The amendment would have been included. Muslims would have been there. Sri Lankan Tamils, 1.5 lakh Sri Lankan Tamils would have got citizenship. Who is the reason behind it? So as he rightly said, the persons who cannot be excused at any point of time, BJP's agenda is that we know very well we can fight it. But these people, they betrayed the Muslims, they let down the Sri Lankan Tamils, and now coming and say, we are for the Muslims because we have severed connections. When you are trying to find some political gains which you will never get. So also the UAPA, the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Earlier, a person associated with a terrorist organization is a terrorist. But now any individual can be branded as a terrorist. How many of you know that? The government can come and take, not the police. The NIA will come and snatch a person, put behind the bars. Thousands are languishing in the prisons now. Activists, social activists, minority community people, thousands are languishing in prisons under the UAPA Act. It has been passed, it is implemented, but the nation is suffering. Many are not aware. Who else will take it to the people than you, the elite legal community, who are well aware of all this. So these are the things that are going on in the parliament by the government, and India is in a very bad shape. Barack Obama, when he took over power in USA, he said, I learned democracy from India. I learned how to be in politics, how to succeed from Mahatma Gandhi. The question now before is whether India, the largest democracy in this world, would remain or deviate from that path. Or dignity and respect will turn to some other side. It should not be. It's the right occasion. We have some time left. It's not everything has gone out of hands. The parliament election is ensuing. Just 2 months in our hands. Go, explain, convince the people, tell them every person matters if we want to live in a democratic country. If all the community people here should live in a very cordial manner, forgetting the religious differences. Anybody can have any faith, but we are all relations, we are all brothers. When India and Pakistan parted, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who became the chief, who was the main reason for Pakistan, he said, I have carved a nation for Muslims. So all the Muslims in India come along with me. But the Muslims in this country told, we are Muslims, but India is our nation, and they decided to stay here. What are you going to pay them back? Are they not serving the military? Are they not contributing to the economy of this country? Why you should deprive someone? Why you should discriminate? So it be Muslims or Christians or Parsis or Sikhs or anybody for that sake, and Hindus. Let us all live together. Unity in diversity. Let us speak different languages. Let us have different faiths. Let us wear different clothes. Let us eat whatever we want. But let us be Indians if you want to be brothers and sisters. That's what DMK professes. That's what DMK insists. If anything happens otherwise or contrary, either by power or by any political party, DMK is the right fortress for these people and the nation of this. So we decided that we need a forum like this. We are addressing public gathering. Other than that, we want to speak to people who are well learned, who are well aware of, to have much more information. And it is high time that we have to uphold federalism and secularism. So kindly, please tell your colleagues, whenever you sit in the in the court, when other political parties sit there, or any other friends sit there who are not attached to political parties, kindly convince them. And if any ADMK comes and sits there, tell them, we know who you are. We know how you voted for NMC, National Medical Commission. You walked out bravely, like retreating in a war front. They walked out bravely instead of supporting. So also UAPA, so also CAA, you betrayed. Very sorry. Kindly, you cannot walk in Tamil Nadu saying that you are in favor of Muslims. So this is the ground reality and situation prevailing in our country. It's very, very essential for all of us to all stand up and work together. The war room will be handled by him and you people, and you will be in every corner of the state. Kindly please help India in other parts from Tamil Nadu. All the 40 seats should be ours. Let us be a role model. Our leader, Talabadi N.K. Stalin, who is the Chief Minister, he always stands first in upholding democracy, in upholding the Constitution, and is the main instrument for this new alliance, INDIA. And he has done everything best, and we are all lieutenants along with him. We shall stand, fight, and win. Thank you very much.
Dear friends, before the vote of thanks, I am very happy to read out a message from Mr. Kapil Sibal, Senior Advocate, which reads as, "My dear Ilango, I wish to convey my heartiest congratulations for reintroducing the forgotten culture of all meetings of the DMK Legal Wing, and as a first topic organizing the symposium on Indian democracy at crossroads. The efforts of the DMK Legal Wing in ideating, planning, and arranging the symposium is nothing short of commendable. I am sure general public will benefit greatly from the meetings hosted by you. With regards, Kapil Sibal." I thank him. Now vote of thanks.
I thank the General Secretary of DMK Party.
Tiruchi Siva, Member of Parliament, Leader of the DMK Party in Rajya Sabha, DMK Propaganda Secretary. Thiru Alandu R.S. Bharati, Organization Secretary, DMK. Thiru D.K.S. Ilangovan, President, Press Relation Wing, DMK. Thiru Vidudalai, Senior Advocate, President of DMK Legal Wing, for having given an excellent speech, Sir Thiru Jairanjan, and all other advocates and friends for having attended the meeting. Thank you.
பைட் இல்லைண்ணா கொஞ்சம் ஒலி விடுங்க தனியாக போயிட்டு தனியாக கொஞ்சம் இங்கிலீஷ்
சொல்லலாமா என்ன
அடிக்கடி ஃபோட்டோ நாட்டு போட்டாலும் அந்த மாதிரி ஃபோட்டோ
பின்னாடி வர சார் வழிவிடு பாய் வழிவிடு
இது 1 to 1 போட்டுருக்கலாம்.